Hey, you okay?
Yeah.
Nice shoes.
I never thought my life would take such a drastic turn. One moment I was on a scenic road trip to Vermont, trying to beat the snowstorm, eager to meet my soon-to-be fiancé's family. The next, I was falling head over heels for a charming maple syrup farmer I'd just met. My name is Joy, and this is my love story. Suddenly, I found myself stranded on a desolate road, my car buried deep in a snowbank. My boyfriend, more concerned about his precious car than his stranded girlfriend, offered little comfort. Just when I thought my luck had hit rock bottom, a pickup truck emerged from nowhere. That's when I met James. He was a tall, funny, and ruggedly handsome man with a kind smile. He offered me refuge at his family's maple syrup farm. Though hesitant initially, I gratefully accepted. And when I slipped in the snow, his strong arms caught me. I looked up into his eyes as he helped me to my feet, his hands lingering on my waist. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. The world around us faded away, and all that mattered was the intensity of his gaze. At first, I'd been a little wary of him. He was so different from the men I was used to. But as I spent more time with him, I found myself drawn to his quiet strength, his passion, and deep-rooted love for his family's legacy. Their maple syrup farm, a quaint haven nestled amidst snowy fields. There was a sense of peace about him, a groundedness that I yearned for. The warmth of the farmhouse, the hearty meals, and the genuine kindness of the Lewis family quickly dispelled my initial worries. James, with his easygoing charm and infectious laughter, was the perfect host. We spent our days exploring the snowy landscape, working on the farm, and sharing stories by the fire. He was kind, considerate, and incredibly handsome. He seemed genuinely interested in getting to know me. As I spent time with him and his family, I realized what I'd been missing in my own life. The sense of belonging, the feeling of being part of something bigger than myself. I was inspired by his resilience, his determination to hold on to his traditions. As the hours turned into days, I found myself falling for him. His love for his family, his passion for the farm, and his unwavering support were qualities I had only dreamed of. We shared quiet moments, deep conversations, and stolen glances. There was definitely a spark between us, a connection that I couldn't deny. As we spent more time together, I found myself falling for him. Hard. Christmas was approaching, and the farm was transformed into a winter wonderland. The air was crisp, the snow was sparkling, and the atmosphere was filled with the magic of the season. James and I spent countless hours together, exploring the woods, and simply enjoying each other's company. The crisp winter air invigorated my senses, as I bundled up in a thick coat and joined him for an evening stroll. The snow crunched beneath our boots, and the world was hushed, save for the occasional chirp of a bird. It was a moment of pure tranquility, a perfect end to the day. Then he took me to a secluded cabin, a relic of the past. The air was thick with history. He poured me a glass of deliciously sweet and smooth, with a hint of warmth, homemade maple liqueur. As we stood by the cabin door, our conversation flowed effortlessly, and our eyes met, a silent understanding passing between us. In that moment, the world seemed to pause, and I felt a surge of emotion. Our faces drew closer. Time seemed to slow as our eyes locked. The warmth of his breath fanned my face as our lips hovered inches apart and drew dangerously close. A surge of longing swept through me as our lips brushed, a near miss that set my heart aflame. Then reality set in and I pulled away. I was to be engaged to another. I was tethered to a future already planned, a future that felt safe and secure. Yet, a spark ignited within me, a yearning for something more, something different. I knew that staying on the farm would mean risking my heart, and I wasn't sure if I was ready to take that leap. With a heavy heart, I decided to leave. As I packed my bags, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was making a mistake. The farm had become my sanctuary, and James my unexpected guide. The next day I postponed leaving after learning that a cloud of uncertainty hung over the farm. James revealed that they were facing financial difficulties, threatening the future of the place that had become my sanctuary. Determined to help, I proposed an idea to turn the farm into a bed and breakfast. With renewed hope, we worked tirelessly to transform the farmhouse into a cozy retreat. And when it was time to leave the farm, I was devastated. How could I say goodbye to him? He was everything I'd ever wanted in a man. He made me laugh, he made me feel safe, and he made me feel loved. On Christmas Eve, he drove me to my car, his eyes filled with sadness. He told me he would miss me terribly. As I drove away, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was leaving a part of myself behind. Back in Vermont, I broke up with my boyfriend, who planned on proposing to me. The growing realization that my heart belonged elsewhere had made it impossible to continue. With a newfound sense of clarity, I headed back to the farm, hoping to surprise James, only to find myself stranded once again, after plowing into a snowbank. Once again, James came to my rescue. I couldn't help but feel a surge of gratitude and affection. Being with him felt like coming home. And in that moment, I knew that I loved him. I knew that I had found my Christmas miracle. We stood there, the snow falling gently around us, and I confessed my feelings. To my relief, he felt the same way. Our hearts overflowed with joy, as we shared a passionate kiss under the starry sky. 1 year later, he proposed. As he knelt before me, his eyes filled with love and devotion, I knew that I was making the right decision. We sealed our commitment with a kiss, our hearts filled with the promise of a lifetime together. And I knew that I had found my forever home.